Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. In this review we will be comparing the Sigma 100 to 400mm and the Sigma 150 to 600mm. Some of you will probably wonder why I'm comparing these two lenses. They don't have the same focal length. Many photographers ask themselves, I will buy a telephoto lens, but which size is right for me? Is a small and compact lens enough for me, or should I go for a super zoom? How much difference does the higher focal length make? In this video I will try to answer these questions and help you in your decision. First of all, I would like to go into the biggest differences between these lenses. Then there is an image, autofocus and video comparison test. After that we will come to the conclusion. These two lenses have a few things in common. Both lenses have image stabilization. They are weather sealed and they have an aperture of f5 to 6.3. But the 100 to 600 has here an advantage in that aperture. It can capture it at 400mm with f5.6, more light than the 100 to 400mm, and that also has a huge effect on the bokeh, which we will see later at the side-by-side comparison. The size of a lens is also an important deciding factor. The 150 to 600mm is the longer of these two lenses with 290mm. The Sigma 100 to 400 with a length of 197mm is 93mm shorter. Besides being longer, the 100 to 600mm also has larger diameter of 121mm compared to the 100 to 400 with a diameter of 86mm. Furthermore, the minimum focus distance of the 100 to 400 is 1.1 meter and the 150 to 600 is 2.6 meter on the wide end. The weight of a lens is also important as the external dimension, especially if you are planning to handhold your camera and lens combination for longer periods. The Sigma 100 to 400 weighs 1135 gram, which means it's 1022 gram lighter than the Sigma 150 to 600mm, which has a weight of 2860 gram. The next point is the filter thread. The 100-400 comes with a small 67mm, which is a very common format. The 150 to 600mm comes with a large 105mm, which takes up the more expensive filters. But now let's go to the side-by-side image comparison of both lenses. Okay, here we are on our side-by-side comparison. What you see here on the left is the Sigma 100 to 400mm and on the right the 150 to 600mm. I've set the ISO on every image on 100 and the aperture of 7.1. And the focus point is always here the chimney. And on the first comparison we have here on the left side 100mm and on the right side the 150mm. This is only to show you the difference between these 50mm focal length difference here between these two lenses. We can zoom in, let's reframe it a little bit, and you see very good sharpness at the center of both lenses. If we go to the edges, you see that the 150 to 600mm is a slight softer, but only a little bit. This is on 100% and very good sharpness here on both lenses. Now we have the 150mm on both sides here, and you see that the 150 to 600mm Sigma lens is a little bit warmer here in the colors. But let's zoom in, let's reframe it a little bit, and the sharpness here on the first look is identical on both lenses. Maybe the 150 to 600mm is a bit sharper here compared to the 100 to 400mm. Yes, you see it here. The 150 to 600mm, it's sharper, but what about the edges? And here again, the 150 to 600mm, it's sharper at the edges and on the middle. Okay, now we are here on 200mm. Both look sharp on the first look, but let's zoom in. Let's reframe it a little bit. And here I think that the 100 to 400, it's a little bit sharper. Yes, on the mid frame. If you compare this here, you see more sharpness on the 100 to 400. What about the edges? And here again, both are a little bit softer but the 150 to 600 mil is softer than the 100-400 on the edges. Now we are comparing 300 mil. Let's zoom in. Let's reframe it a little bit. And here the 150 to 600 mil is the winner. It's more sharper than the 100 to 400 mil on the middle. But what about the edges? I think the edges are equal here. Both are softer on the middle, but very equal. But at the center sharpness here, the 150 to 600 mil has an advantage. Okay, now we are coming to the 400 mil on both lenses. The first look, both are sharp, but let's zoom in. Okay, I think both looks identical at 400 mil. Okay, I can't see a big difference here. Oh, it's difficult. Maybe the 100 to 400 mil, it's a little bit sharper, but only a little bit. And remember, we are here on 100%. Yes. And at the edges, again. Now, if we are comparing the edges, the 150 to 600 mil, it's sharper here. But both are very comparable at 400 mil. Good, now we see here on the right side the 600 mil, and this is the difference between 400 mil and 600 mil, and you see that it's not a huge difference. But what about the sharpness here? And you see directly on 600 mil on the longest end, the 150 to 600 mil is softer than the 100 to 400 mil. What about the edges? Yeah, a little bit softer here on the edges. But in the middle, the 100 to 400, it's the winner here. But what about portraits? I've tried to shoot here a bird on the longest focal length of each lens here. On the right side again, the 100 to 400 with an aperture of 6.3, and on the right side the same bird with an aperture of 6.3 but a focal length of 600, and you see the difference. It's nearer than the 400 mil, and you see the effect on the bokeh. The background is more compressed here. And if we are zooming in, you see again excellent sharpness on both lenses, but the 150 to 600 mil looks sharper here. And now we have here another portrait comparison between these two lenses. You see, if you are shooting wildlife, then you have a big advantage with the extra 200 mil focal length range here. Okay, on the next minutes you will see the zoom and the autofocus test, and also on the end a real life image comparison test between these two lenses. Have fun! Welcome back. As you probably saw in the test, both lenses are very sharp and they perform very well. Each lens has their own advantage. The 100-400 is very compact, sharp, has a better image, a better minimum focus distance, and it's much lighter than the 150-600mm. On the other hand, the 150-600mm offers 200mm more range with a better aperture and the lower focal length. It also offers a better bokeh. This makes it perfect for wildlife photography. It's a difficult decision. I personally prefer the look of the 150-600mm because at 600mm with the aperture of f6.3 it produces a very sharp image with a soft bokeh. However, I don't take it with me so often because it's too big and heavy. If you put the 100-400mm in my bag, I still have room for other lenses and that gives me an advantage too. On the other hand, it doesn't produce a great look that you will get with 150-600mm. I think if you are not specialized in wildlife photography, the 100-400mm is a better choice. It's extremely sharp, versatile, compact and lightweight for this focal length. If you mainly shoot wildlife, then the 150-600mm is clearly the better choice. It's a great lens. The bokeh is incredibly soft and the lens is very sharp. I hope that this comparison could help you, and if you like this test, I would be appreciate if you can give me a like and subscribe to my channel. If you have any questions, please write them in the comments down below. I will try to answer everyone. See you next time.